What is up, guys? Uncanny Collectibles coming back at you today with another review. Today I want to take a look at a omnibus. So today we're looking at the Uncanny X-Force second printing omnibus. So this is actually one of my all-time favorite stories that I've ever read in comic books. I've read it probably 2 times all the way through, not in omnibus form. This is my first time owning this in omnibus form. But Marvel, originally published this book back in March of 2014 and then re-released it as a second printing March 3rd of 2020, last Tuesday. So I was able to snag this thing off of In Stock Trades for 50% off, and really happy to have it. So we got 928 pages in this book. What we're looking at is we've got X-Force, Uncanny X-Force 1 through 35 from 2010. Uncanny X-Force 5.1 and 19.1, Wolverine Road to Hell #1 from 2010, All New Wolverine Saga from 2010, X-Men Spotlight from 2011. So you get a lot of material. It really tells the whole story of this team. So the team is who you see here on the cover. We've got Archangel, Psylocke, Phantom X. A lot of us were really introduced to Phantom X through this storyline. He already existed, but this is really kind of where we got to know him. And then obviously Wolverine is the leader and Deadpool. So we'll go ahead and take a look at just kind of the dust jacket on this one. I got a real nice picture of the team here. This is a Rick Remender book. Just one. This literally put him in talks of the greats, in my opinion. One of the best stories ever. Again, as I said earlier, looking at the spine on this thing, we've got, Marvel Omnibus. Kind of all your Marvel Omnibus had this same, kind of labeling up top. Got a picture of Psylocke, Wolverine, and Deadpool here on the spine. Uncanny X-Force there. And then flip it on over. We have another good picture of the team. Some additional artwork. Now, Nightcrawler, Deathlock, some of these guys did come in a little later and play different roles, so they threw them here on the back. This parental advisory on this one, $100 cover price. I paid $50 on In Stock Trades because I purchased it on release date. Then down here we talk about what it actually collects in the book. So that's our dust jacket. We'll go ahead and take this dust jacket off and set it to the side. Take a look at the actual cover itself. All right, guys, one last thing I want to actually show on the dust jacket itself is the inside pages here. So just inside the page, you got just a quick rundown of the team and a little bit about each of the members of the team of X-Force. And then you've got a little write-up here that's about the creators, Rick Remender and Jerome Opina. So just wanted to throw that in there for you guys before we moved on. So looking at the book itself, just got just a basic, really nice and clean cover. So one thing to note here, the original first print, this was white. So if you're ever out looking or shopping, you're trying to find these, you find one on eBay, you probably can still get this one. But once that's over, if you're still looking, you would know a difference in a first print and a second print. Between first print's white, second print has a black cover. But they all collect the exact same comics, regardless of the print. So just looking at it, real plain black cover, rolling over to the spine, Marvel Omnibus, kind of a mimic of the spine of the dust jacket there, and then rolling to the back, just a nice view of the team there. So even this artwork is the same on the first print, but again, all this is white and then the team members are in black. Go ahead and crack this open. So here we talk about, so title pages on each side here, just what's collected. Real nice artwork of the team here. Looks like we got Dakin thrown in. in the picture there, so I'm not sure really what he's in that picture for, but he's there. We won't scroll through every page here, but we can just kind of glide through some of these and check out the artwork. Really, really love this version of Deadpool. He was a perfect guy to throw on this team. If you've never read this storyline, I would highly, highly recommend picking this up and reading it. It's probably not a storyline that you have to know a ton about anything previously. You know, just kind of a quick synopsis, not to give anything away, but you know, this team was assembled to kind of do the dirty work that the X-Men couldn't do, kind of out in public. So they kind of fly under the radar, do some dirty work. One of their first missions is to eliminate basically a newborn apocalypse, kind of in current times, so that he doesn't become the apocalypse we all know, and you know, Age of Apocalypse, etc., etc. If you're a comic book reader, you probably know some of that storyline, but they're trying to prevent that in the future by killing off basically a child apocalypse. So then it goes from there. So we won't go any further in the story, but that just kind of gives you an idea of where this is going. And there's a point in here where they actually end up going to the Age of Apocalypse, and it's a pretty cool storyline. You can see how the artwork just differs throughout from the different storylines. Lots of artists were involved in all these different, you know, comic books throughout this storyline. Here we're getting some Dakin. That's our kid Apocalypse there. And then once we get to the back, you've got, let's see if we can find our first page there. So it's kind of a history of X-Force, and it's as told by Wolverine from All New Wolverine Saga. So this is that portion of the book that it talks about in the collected edition. And then once we get on back, we actually get in just some of the original pencils from some of the artists, which is pretty neat to see. This is all, you know, prior to the color. And that's it. So in looking at our spine, we'll get a different camera angle here, and we'll take a look at the spine itself. It is a glued spine, but I want to show you, as far as the gutter loss, very little, minimal gutter loss. You can see that from here, but I want to show you how, yeah, I mean, look at this. You can see here, excellent spine on this. You know, even here early on in some of the early on pages, you can still easily see all this writing right here in the gutter. So that's good. I've read some books that were very disappointing from an omnibus standpoint as far as gutter loss. So we'll take one more look here, change up our camera angle, take a look at the spine of this laying here on the table. All right, guys, so just kind of giving us another good angle of this book laying flat on the table. This looks fantastic. We don't have a big eye here. We do have a glued spine, but the eye itself is not a big eye. But look how flat this thing's laying on the table. That is fantastic, because I've only stretched this book one time right before we did the overview here. So for it to be laying like that, that's amazing. Have no gutter loss basically in the book. Look how flat these pages are laying. I mean, that's really nice. So, you know, all the way, even here, we're getting some rays up here, but we're still laying on the table. But where we really see it is right there in the middle. You know, that's basically with just minimal stretching. I'll probably stretch it out another time or two, and I do plan on reading it a third time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, click like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this book. If you've read it, what you think of it. Are you going to get it? Or are you going to pick it up? Feel free to leave those thoughts in the comments. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Till next time.